started.
Okay.
We are live.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining the Normal Human Relations Commission meeting on Tuesday, October 20th, 2020. The governor has issued a disaster declaration related to the public health concerns caused by the statewide COVID-19 pandemic. As chair of the Human Relations Commission, I've determined that an in-person meeting is not practical or prudent because of the risk of exposure to the COVID-19 virus stemming from an indoor gathering, and that a remote meeting is in the best interests of the health, safety, and welfare of the commission, staff, and general public. We will move on to our agenda. Jason, can you do a roll call for us, please?
Absolutely. Vice Chairperson Tamala, Commissioner Brown,
Here.
Commissioner Henson,
Here.
Commissioner Ryburn, Commissioner Figueroa, Commissioner Cosberg,
Here.
and Chairperson Williams.
Present. I am not aware of any public comment.
Nor am I.
I would like a motion to approve the meeting minutes of the September 15th, 2020 meeting. Everybody's on mute.
I move that we accept the minutes for the September meeting 2020.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
That's you, Ethan.
It was indeed.
Thank you. It
I
has,
will call roll on that if there.
yes.
Commissioner Cosberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Henson,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Tamala,
Yes.
and Commissioner Williams.
Yes. Motion carries. Jason, do you have a complaint update that you can share with us?
I do. Since our last meeting, we held the conciliation hearing between the two parties in the complaint that's been filed. The parties left there with some further discussions they were going to have amongst themselves. I've got a conference call with them next week, and I should know more on how they intend to proceed, whether there's going to be a settlement or whether we'll be proceeding further with the complaint.
Okay. Thank you. The pandemic update and response. There is an upcoming Mayor's Pandemic Advisory Council meeting coming up. As you may, I'm sure you're aware that the numbers for McLean County have kind of been doing up and down and all around. The positivity rate still is at significantly less than the level that would trigger any type of additional measures than we already have in place. I've noticed around town that more places are requiring and enforcing the wearing of masks, which is very good. ISU canceled homecoming this weekend. That's good and bad. Good for public health and safety, bad for our local businesses and community and student morale. But look, these are the times we're currently living in. I noticed that the elementary school districts are returning to school on a phased approach, with the option for students to still stay at home. I know different families are making different choices based on what's best for their family dynamics and concerns. That is all I have on that, unless anyone else has anything they'd like to say, share, comment, would like for me to bring up at the advisory council meeting next week. It's either next week or later this week. It's on my calendar. Jay? No, I thought that was you.
No, I
raised
don't
your
have
hand.
anything.
Okay. Is your hand raised? Am I seeing things? Okay. The 2021 MLK Awards ceremony. You should have received an email a few moments ago that has a link to the September 9th, 2020 Bloomington Human Relations Commission, where they discussed the proposed format for the 2021 virtual ceremony. I also was able to grab a screenshot of what that draft looked like, which you should also have. I'm guessing you probably did not have time to look at it yet, so I'll quickly go over what they have proposed, which is that the MC would be a local news personality. They're going to, since it'll be virtual, encourage participants to order delivery or takeout from local Black-owned or minority-owned restaurants. Opening prayer by a local clergy person. Live stream statements encouraging principles of Dr. King from local community leaders, youth leaders, and elected officials, with those meetings or those statements being no more than 3 minutes each and having approximately 10 of them, which would be about 30 minutes. One of the options they discussed was having a local speaker for that 30-minute slot. Then the pre-recorded song from Peoria's Heritage Ensemble for Lift Every Voice. If you haven't had the opportunity to hear them, they are absolutely amazing. I'm not at all biased that my cousin is a member of this very elite and prestigious ensemble. And then they will have the awards portion. So Bloomington Youth and Adult Award winner acceptance, normal Youth and Adult Award acceptance, and then a pre-recorded song again from the Peoria's Heritage Ensemble, We Shall Overcome, and a closeout by the MC. They are aware that we will participate, and so unless anything has changed, what I'll do after this meeting is touch base with them again to let them know that we've talked about their draft and we're still on board and would like to assist in any way possible. I'll also ask for a timeline for award submissions and if we will be able to have those online electronically again this year. That seems to be working very well. Any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns?
Yeah, thank you for the update, Janice. So I stumbled upon their previous website, mlkawards.com. Yes, they haven't updated anything for this year.
Correct.
So I was just wondering if they mentioned or if you have any idea on how they were planning to seek the nominations this year, knowing we're in the middle of October or maybe close to the second, close to the bottom third of the October. Do they have any thoughts on how they were planning to seek nominations and put, I mean, have an idea of the deadlines and things like that? Is Tony is still the point of contact for that, or?
Yes. And I started a draft email.
Okay.
So, and since he's the vice chair, I will include him on that and ask that question specifically.
Okay.
Because we will be seeking as a separate commission nominations from normal residents.
Mhm.
How do we plan on seeking nominations?
Well, yeah,
Now,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will be ideal if they have if they can also host our registrations on their website and also talk about the timelines. But that's one thing, right? I mean, the other thing is probably where you're trying to get to is how do we go about and publish that and make sure it is reaching the wider audience such that we will get a diversified number of nominations and things like that. So I think perhaps that's where you're going. Obviously, I think we're gonna probably need the help from Town of Normal through their social media and any other means that they can push through. And I guess people like us will probably have to reach out to the groups that we are involved in. And maybe perhaps the way what we have done in the past is that, come up with an email and put the links in there and encourage people to nominate. And I think even outside of that, we may have to reach out to the local community leaders individually and ask them to nominate nominate people based on their knowledge and things like that. I guess, I mean, you have to probably use a multi-prong approach because it's, one approach is not going to be quite enough. And we have struggled in the past to get a good number of nominations. And I think we all have to take that burden and do our best.
Okay.
I think they typically there is also like some sort of a maybe an advertisement in the pantograph.
A press release, yeah.
Press release, and also perhaps they okay, maybe it's a press release. I thought we had to pay money, but we also we may also have to reach out to the local radio stations and whether you go in there and talk about it, or have someone read a blurb that hey, this is coming and here is where you find information. Yeah, so I guess social media, emails, personally approaching leaders, press releases, and anything the Town of Normal can do to put stuff on their website or the social media, that is also appreciated.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. Once we finalize how we'll be taking nominations, getting that on our social media seems easy enough to do.
And we've had a letter that went out in the past, so it should be just a matter of popping out the old dates and putting in the new ones. Okay. Anything from anyone else? Commissioner Cosberg, are you familiar with the event?
Kind of. I was looking over the email that you just sent us now. But I don't know. It is different because the Illinois State puts on a MLK dinner. Are they the same or are they separate?
They're separate. And the one at ISU has typically been attended by ISU and alumni. It's hosted by the ISU NAACP chapter and the Office of the President, and they have a much larger budget. So they usually have a speaker who draws a much larger crowd.
We had O'Brien, the journalist, last year.
Yes, lots of fun. And the difference between the Bloomington and Normal Human Relations Commission have hosted an award ceremony. Ours is an award ceremony. Theirs is more of a dinner and celebration. So we give out awards to adults and youth in high school who exemplify the life of Dr. King in the Normal community. And so it's definitely a community event, one that's been going on for almost 50 years. It's an amazing tradition in the community and something that people look forward to every year. Since I've been attending, it's one of the events that I enjoy attending because it's usually 2 hours or less from start to finish. In the past, it has been a luncheon on a Saturday afternoon. However, with the pandemic, it will be virtual this year. So if you can think of any ISU students who, once the nominations go out, that might be good candidates, if you would do nominations for them, that would be good, or any recent graduates. That would be another way for the Human Relations Commission to interact and bring in the ISU community and students, and make them aware of who we are and what we do.
Speaking of which, do we have any idea about how ISU is handling in 2021 event?
I do not.
The
Do
20
you?
dinner.
Yeah,
I have not heard anything about it. No. I can ask
I
about.
haven't seen anything on the website, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, I can ask about that and get back to you.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Cosberg, for volunteering to do that.
And then with the nominations for the awards, does it have to be? Did you say it has to be alumni, or could it just be any student?
As long as they are a Normal resident.
Gotcha.
So that could be a current student, that could be an alum, a recent alum, a more seasoned alum. They just have to. And then I know a lot of people on the Student Government Association, and maybe not so much this year, but in the past have done a lot of community service in the community with local high school and junior high school students. So they may be able to recommend someone for our youth awards, but it's all done online. So once the nomination forms are available, all the commissioners will get one. We'll get the information, and then you can share it amongst your peers. Thank you. So that brings us to new business. Is that everybody's questions? Anyone have anything else on that? Hearing none. I think we briefly discussed this at our last meeting, that we may need to have a December 15th, 2020 meeting to select our award recipients. We've typically done a special call meeting. Fortunately, the third Tuesday in December falls early enough in the month. That would be our regularly scheduled date for a meeting. It's not currently on our calendar, so it would be a special meeting. Is that correct, Jason?
Yep, sorry.
And that typically, we usually are able to get and review the nominations prior to the meeting. So it's typically a very short meeting because we try to review the award submissions prior to the meeting so that we can have discussions about the nominees and vote on them. Will we be able to do that, Jason, without it being a public meeting?
No, we'll have to do that. We can't go into closed session to vote on those or anything. It'll have to be at a public meeting.
Okay, that'll be interesting. Thank you.
If people are willing, can we have a big room and with masks on and do an in-person?
We'll see what it looks like in December.
Right, there is that. Okay. Is anyone opposed to having a special call meeting in December?
No.
Okay. We don't need to vote on that, do we, Jason?
No, I can call that. I can notice that up closer to the date in case we need to, move the date for whatever reason.
Okay. Concerns and announcements. Does anyone have any upcoming activities and events they would like to share? This is typically the height of the banquet and award season, but with the pandemic, a lot of organizations have decided to either go virtual or cancel. So I don't have anything other than vote, 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 vote. Only vote once, but make sure that you vote if you haven't already. I've heard great things about voting at Grossinger Center, that it's very easy and convenient. So I'm sad this will be the first election that I won't vote on election day, but I'm not going to wait till the last minute to do it this year. So I will be voting early. Does anyone have anything else? Okay. Our next meeting will be November 17th, 2020. I wish that you all will stay safe and your families as well. Ethan, can you tell us what is the latest with ISU schedule? So I know that's right before Thanksgiving break. So are you coming back after break? Is that the end of the on campus?
To my understanding, when we go home for Thanksgiving, they have no more in-person classes for the rest of the semester. And then they sent out a survey and they made their announcement. I don't remember what they said though about coming back after Christmas. I know that they talked about like pushing it back a couple weeks or like just things like that, or canceling spring break and whatnot. But I don't remember exactly what they said. Let me Google it.
I do recall hearing that spring break has not been canceled.
Okay, I wonder if they just didn't make any changes then. I feel like that might be what happened. But I will
Is
be
it-
in Kansas for most of that time. So
You will be in. Yeah. Okay.
it's okay that I serve on this and I live in like my residence leave isn't normal. But like I go home to Kansas. That's not a problem, right?
Now, your position is by definition the vice president of the student body of Illinois State University. So
Okay, cool.
it's
And-
rather difficult to be an ISU student and not have normal residency. Not that it can't be done, especially virtually, but
Yeah, no, to my understanding, there is no more in-person classes after November. I think the date's the 19th.
well, great. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Second.
it's been moved and seconded. Hearing no discussion, Jason, can you call a roll?
Yes, I can. Commissioner Cosberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Henson,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Kamala,
Yes.
and Chairperson Williams.
Yes. Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned at 5:41 p.m. Thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you.
Stay
Bye-bye.
safe.
All right. Thank you all.
All.
Hey, everybody.
Have a good one. See you next time.
Thank you, Andy, for sticking around.